Hey, what's up everybody? Price back here again. I just want to give you an update as to what's going on in my life. Welcome to The Price Life. So, what's been going on is, as you know, I've been doing a podcast, and I've been doing it for, if not 2 years. And it all started when the pandemic happened. So my company that I worked for at the time, they had closed down for a month because everybody was getting sick. Even I got sick. So, before that, I was telling everybody there, I said, I've always thought about doing a podcast. A lot of people laughed at me. A lot of people supported me. But I didn't know anything about podcasting, and I said, this is a great way to probably start. So I was also, at the same time, this was around the when all the riots were going on, riots with the George Floyd. I was asking my kids, hey, you know what's going on in the world over there, right? With all those riots, right? And they just weren't interested. They didn't really care. I said, boy, are you kidding me? These are the kids. These kids are our future. And they're not interested in what's going on. So I thought, I said, what could I do to make kids interested in events of the world and what's going on? So I thought, what if I made a podcast? And instead of me talking to the kids, and my kids especially, because I really wanted to make it for my kids, so they'd actually listen to me and get something out of it. I said, what if I made it two black kids, who had an underground podcast. Their father didn't know about it. Made a little storyline about it, and I do the voices for both the kids. It ended up working out pretty good. I was trying to get advice from my oldest daughter, well, actually all my daughters, and they said,
"Oh, Dad, if you want to do podcasting, you gotta swear, you gotta do this."
I said, I don't know, guys, because that's really not me. I'm really not. That ain't the kind of image I want to have. I don't want to throw that out there.
I mean, come on, guys, I do children's books. What do I want to talk like that for? Jesus.
So I said, you know what? I'll give it a try, and I did. So the first couple episodes, made me cringe, dude, because the language was, ooh. I was like, oh my God. I said, this just is not me. So I decided to change it up, and the storyline then was the father found out the kids had an underground podcast. He said, clean it up, basically. So, I'm a firm believer that, come on, if I'm going to make videos and show people, actually, if people in the future want to listen and see how a podcast is made, I'm not going to erase something in the past like that I may not be proud of or embarrassed about, because that's a part of the podcast. That was a part of my learning process. And I think it's important people see, hey, you know what? Maybe this worked, maybe this didn't work. How did you fine tune it? How do you fix it? How do you put more of you into it? So that's what I did. I will not get rid of the first couple podcasts, because I truly feel if I did, I'd just be trying to hide something. I'm not. That's not what my podcast is about, hiding stuff. I actually want people to see the whole process and how it went. And it reminds me of when I first started doing my YouTube videos. My first probably 10 videos, I was very uncomfortable talking to the camera. I mean, I was nervous. I didn't know what to say. And there's one video that makes me sort of cringe, but I don't look at it as a failed attempt. I look at it as a learning experience, and you can learn from stuff like that. So, I am so happy that I have reached on my Pop City Culture the 100th episode, and it has been a long journey. And there were times I sort of did want to quit, because I was talking about politics, and there was one person in particular, and they just always try to give me bad reviews. What are you gonna do? The person keeps coming back giving you bad reviews.
On either Apple or something else.
There's nothing I can do about it, because there's always gonna be somebody out there who is gonna just try to follow you and try to mess it up for you. And that's too bad. But you know what? I never gave up. And I think in the long run, a lot of people liked it more. So now it's actually going, I'm transferring a lot of the podcast audio to YouTube. Only one of them got banned. Somebody complained. So, but the rest of them, I'm gonna have. It won't be 100 episodes because now that one of I had to have a talk with YouTube and say what was going on. So if I feel so iffy about it, I'm just not gonna put it on because I just don't need the drama and stuff like that. However, if they do want to hear episode 15, that dealt with COVID. I mean, you can hear that on Apple, any other audio thing. So I was talking to my youngest daughter because she wants to run everything, which is cool because I am very unorganized and I'm horrible with dates, and I actually do need somebody to sort of manage me and be okay. Price, do this. But she says, Dad, you gotta do this. Dad, do this. Okay, thanks, honey. So she's really good like that, and she wants to make. She wants to make money so she can buy a car. So I said, fine, I'll just split everything with you, whatever. And I have other things I have to do. For example, I write children's books, novels, and I'm learning up-to-date software for digital painting. So I'm taking classes on those right now with the retrain rehire, because a lot of my job closed down. So I'm doing the retrain rehire sponsored by Mass, and they gave me a huge grant. And they paid for everything. Gave me a computer and everything to learn the more up-to-date software, which is cool because I'm using that to redo all my children's picture children's books. And I do books of poems. I try to do a lot of things, and and the podcasting. That being said, this was all about the podcast and the 100th episode, and I'm very proud of that. I want to thank everybody for your support, for telling me, hey, this here might work, this might not work in your podcast. You want to talk about this, you want to talk about that. I mean, that was really helpful. And that really got me through the last 2 years. And I just want to give a big shout out to everybody out there like that. And who says, supports me and says, hey, keep it going, Price. This is really good. You really got something there. And I'm glad that most of my kids listen to the podcast. I say most because not all of my kids listen to the podcast. For example, if your dad's a doctor, and you get sick, not you personally, but if a kid's father's a doctor or the mother's a doctor, the kid gets sick, and they say, I'm not feeling good, I got to see a doctor. I'm a doctor. What are you talking about? I'm going to tell you what to do. And it reminds me, before, when I was working at my last job, I remember saying, I wanted to get a house, which I did. And then I ended up saying,
in my house, I think what I'm going to do is paint a lot of pictures and draw a lot of pictures and hang them up.
Somebody at my job said,
why don't you get a professional to do it?
Like, what? I said, I went to school for this stuff. How professional do I got to get? But, like I say, my kids have other interests. So, and it's the kids nowadays. The kids nowadays have other interests. I mean, I don't know if a lot of them listen to audio podcasts, and whereas they watch a lot of video podcasts, which is probably more engaging. But, I'm just happy that a lot of kids do listen to the podcast, and I'm very happy that I can make a small impact on their lives. And maybe they'll remember it one day and say, hey, you know what? I remember when Hakeem and Reggie of Pop City Culture said this, or they said that. So anyways, I just wanted to take this time out to thank everybody, and say thanks for the support. And I'm looking forward to another 100 episodes, which would be awesome. So thanks again, everybody, and I will see you next time here on, I don't know if I should change this channel to The Price Life. That sounds sort of good. The Price Life. I think I have Price Van Ray. Just type in Price Van Ray and it comes to me. The Price Life sounds pretty good. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Have a good one.